SmackDown starts off with a Jimmy Uso promo. He comes out on crutches due to his injury that happened at War Games. It's very unfortunate. I'm hoping for a speedy recovery. But he ends up mentioning War Games, mentioning the victory, mentions everyone involved, mentions how proud he is of his family, mentions Jay, mentions Roman, mentions Solo. And then he starts mentioning what's next for Jimmy, and he ends up alluding to a singles run. He ends up alluding to winning championship gold, entering the Royal Rumble, all of that. And then once the promo ends, you get Drew McIntyre ends up Claymore Jimmy Uso. This is very interesting. The fact that they're teasing us with him mentioning a singles push tells me that that's definitely going to happen in the future. And I actually want that to happen because we seen what Jey Uso could do as a single star. I think Jimmy Uso can do the same thing because there's people who actually believe that Jey Uso is just the better Uso, which I don't understand because I feel like they're on the same level. Is that Jey Uso just been given the opportunity to actually show what he can do? And this may be a hot take. I actually find Jimmy Uso more entertaining as a solo star. I just think Jimmy Uso is just more funny as a character, more entertaining. I like Jey Uso, I do, but the Yeet stuff for me personally, it's enjoyable, but it also has like a shelf life if that makes sense. Like it has that, it can wear off on you after a while, especially with the amount that he does it. But overall, I can't wait because I think Jimmy Uso could do similar things as Jey Uso as a single star if he actually gets pushed similar to Jey Uso. So I can't wait because there's people who actually think Jey Uso is just clearly better. I'm like, I just think they're both on the same level. One just been given the opportunity to do so, the other has not. So I actually can't wait to see that happen. They wouldn't put that in a promo, wouldn't have him talk about it if it wasn't gonna happen sometime within the next year. But Drew McIntyre attacking Jimmy Uso, this is just him continuing to attack people who have helped Roman Reigns. I'm curious to see if they are going to revisit the Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns feud, which I could kind of see them doing, but at the same time I can't, only because I'm assuming Roman after once the Royal Rumble start, I don't see Roman and Drew having a program. I just can't, because the only thing I can see Roman doing from now to WrestleMania is really either The Rock or Cody Rhodes. That's really the only thing I really see. That's the only thing I really see here. But I could be wrong. But it makes sense for him to continue to attack, Bloodline members with attacking Sammy first, Jade, then Jade, then Jimmy. So it makes perfect sense. I'm interested to see where this goes. Because Drew McIntyre is crashing out. He's about to go back. He's about to be the most entertaining character back on TV, back when he was feuding with CM Punk. So I'm interested to see where this plays. Now we end up getting Bianca and Jade. Not Bianca and Jade. Bianca and Naomi. They was talking to Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis ends up mentioning that Bianca is going to have to relinquish her I'm getting my shows messed up. Relinquish her tag team titles. Bianca doesn't want to do that, of course. Naomi ends up saying that she could fill in for Jade until Jade comes back. Nick Aldis accepts this. So, and they end up hugging it out. So, this is very interesting. This kind of alludes to Naomi as the one who attacked Jade, which I think is the best choice. Some people wanted Bayley, which I thought was stupid since we just literally got off of like a 3-year feud with Bayley and Bianca. We don't need them to go back. Naomi being the one to attack Jade is the perfect choice. Especially because I think she needs a gimmick change. Even though she's over with the crowd, I think she needs a gimmick change. Plus, I think this would be very interesting because SmackDown needs another heel that's more credible. Because outside of Nia Jax, the heels are very thin on SmackDown on the women's roster. So adding another heel like Naomi, I think would be perfect for her character. And it'll be something new and refreshing to see Naomi as a heel. So I'm interested to see how that story plays out. Plus, I'm interested to see the dynamic between Jade and Bianca once Jade comes back, if Naomi's the one that attacked her. So I'm interested to see where the story goes. This could go multiple ways, but we'll see how this plays out. Now we end up getting the semifinals for the Women's United States Championship Tournament. We get Michin versus Tiffany Stratton. This was a decent match. Very shocked by how this match played out. Michin won, which I'm not the most surprised by. I'm surprised that they actually had Tiffany Stratton lose cleanly here, which is the most surprising. It was no interference at all, no distractions, nothing. She lost cleanly, which is very shocking. Now, I'm not going to complain because I wanted Michin to win to go to the finals, which is a great choice. I'm glad to see her go to the finals. I'm glad that they actually pulled the trigger. Can't wait to see how that match plays out at Saturday night's main event. But it's very shocking that they had Tiffany Stratton lose. Now I understand it due to how the show played out, because they end up having a segment backstage with her, Nia and Candice, basically kind of, I'm trying to think of the word, kind of, I can't really think, kind of like putting her down a bit, in a sense of her losing the match. They end up alluding to maybe it's just not her time, maybe she's not ready to be a singles competitor, and maybe that she should just give up. And then afterwards she looks at the briefcase. So, and then it is mentioned that Candice and Nia Jax both have a tag team championship opportunity next week against Naomi and Bianca. I don't know if she's going to cash in next week. I just assumed that if she was going to cash in, it would be on a PLE, but I wouldn't mind her cashing in on a random episode of Smackdown. So it's clearly building up towards that. Tiffany is definitely getting pushed over the edge, getting tired of Nia and Candice, and it looks like Nia is kind of replacing Tiffany with Candice, so which is the story I've been wanting them to tell. So we'll see how this plays out, but it's getting closer and closer to the cash in, which I do think needs to happen sooner rather than later. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Now we end up getting Roman Reigns. He ends up basically challenging Solo Sikoa for the Ulafala on the first episode on Netflix on Raw. This is great. This is great. I was wondering, how is Roman Reigns going to fit into Raw on Netflix, because I knew that he would be on the show. I just didn't know how he would be on the show, because we know that show is just going to be stacked. It's basically going to be a WrestleMania just on Raw. So I was just wondering, how is he going to be on the show? And this is a perfect way to put him on the show. He mentions, them both being 1-1 with both their bloodlines getting one victory. Now it's time to settle it. And it's going to be, wait, no, it's not going to be Bloodline rules. Tribal Combat. I was trying to think of the other Bloodline match, the other Bloodline stipulations. Yeah, Tribal Combat, no interference. We know there's going to be interference. Let's not be stupid here. It's going to be interference. They say no interference. We know it's going to be interference. Like, come on. Like, Solo's Bloodline is going to interfere. Then this allowed Jay, Sammy, and not Jimmy, but this allowed Jay and Sammy to help Roman. Yeah, especially because both teams have 3 members, because Tonga Loa both got injured, and Jimmy Uso. Wow, that's kind of a coincidence that one member of each bloodline got injured. That's crazy. But yeah, that's clearly going to be the show where he takes the Ulafala. Maybe The Rock returns after the match. Who knows? But that's clearly the episode. He's going to take the Ulafala back, become the tribal chief, and that's where Solo's story ends. So I'm very interested to see how that story plays out, and I can't wait to the first episode on Raw on Netflix. Now we end up getting Carmelo Hayes. He ended up getting a mystery opponent. This was set up last week, and the mystery opponent ends up being Braun Strowman, of all people, which I am so confused by, and I'm not really that frustrated, but I'm a bit confused. Braun Strowman basically swashes Carmelo Hayes. Okay. This doesn't make any sense to me at all, because apparently it seems like Braun Strowman is going to be on SmackDown, which I guess, but why did Carmelo lose this match? I don't understand. Now, some people are saying that they're playing a story of Melo being too cocky and arrogant, which is going to lead to him changing his ways, which is fine, which I could kind of see. My only issue is I just don't see that being the story. And 2, based off Triple H booking, we're basically looking at from like another year of this, which I think would be stupid. I don't understand why Braun Strowman needed this victory. I don't understand, because Braun Strowman clearly is not going to be in the main event, especially in this climate. Back in 2018, sure, but not in this day and age. And then mid-card, I mean, I guess, but he's not really pushed as like a top mid. I just don't understand. I don't understand the logic behind it. I don't think even if this is a story of him being cocky, you could have just done anybody else. You could have done any other mid-carder. I would have been fine. But Braun Strowman, of all people, like if this was like a Sheamus level mid-carder, I would have been fine. But Braun Strowman, I just don't understand the logic here, because we all know where this is going. This is not going to lead to any big story. It's just not. With Braun Strowman, they're already trying to tease him with Pretty Deadly, and then with Austin Theory and great. Like, no, like, why do we need Braun Strowman to win? I just don't understand it. He didn't need the victory. You could just, I don't understand it, but I'm going to give Triple H the benefit of the doubt But I just didn't like that decision. I just thought it was stupid. Then afterwards, we end up getting Solo versus LA Knight, alluding to last week with Solo attacking LA Knight. This ended a disqualification with the Bloodline, of course, attacking LA Knight. Then Andrade and Apollo Crews come out, and they end up getting taken out as well. This is basically just to show Solo's dominance before his match with Roman, which is cool. The only thing I will say is I just don't know how the story would play out, because typically baby faces don't give up until they typically never give up. So I don't know how long you can do this story. Well, Apollo Crews, you probably could just write him off TV. It's really LA Knight and Andrade I'm more concerned about, because it seems like they're more directionless. And I don't know how long you can drag out them fighting the Bloodline, because if they fight the Bloodline, they should be losing to the Bloodline. No offense. So I'm just curious to see how they would play that story, and how they conclude that. But they could just conclude it here and just have them not go at the Bloodline. But nonetheless, this was just to be able to showcase the Bloodline, showcase Solo to be dominant for his upcoming match with Roman Reigns on the first episode, Netflix on Raw. Then we end up getting Bayley and versus Chelsea Green, the semifinals for the Women's United States Championship match. And this match, I will say, this match felt a little off. It felt a little weird. But at the end, Chelsea Green picked up the victory, which I did expect after Michin won, but it's how she won. She won cleanly. She didn't cheat. Piper Niven did get involved, but she didn't get involved in a cheating way. And she actually won cleanly, which I am very surprised by. I thought that it was going to be a typical Piper Niven distraction, but no, Chelsea Green actually picked the victory. And I am so happy that we're getting Michin and Chelsea in the finals, because thank God we were not getting Tiffany Stratton and Bayley. Thank you. This is great. This is great. I can't wait to see who wins that match. I'm assuming Chelsea Green will win that match, especially since Michin won their dumpster match. They're having a rematch. Chelsea gets her revenge and ends up becoming your first Women's United States Championship champion. I don't know why I said ship, but this is great. I can't wait to see how that match plays out. Now we end up getting the main event, Cody Rhodes. It starts off with Cody, Michael waiting for Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens don't come out. Then Michael ends up alluding to Triple H having a gift for Cody for one night, alluding to the Winged Eagle belt. But then KO ends up interrupting. He ends up popping up on the Titantron. He ends up, alluding to Michael Cole being biased, and ends up saying that Michael Cole should ask Cody about Cody using and abusing his friends to help him finish his story, and then ask him why did he team up with the Bloodline only a few months after dethroning them. Then he ends up saying that Cody should start being honest, and that the reason why is because he is just a bad of a friend, that he is a son and a brother. And then he ends up saying that no matter what you do, no matter the amount of title, how long you hold the title, no matter how many main events you get, you are always more interesting as Stardust. And then Cody ends up leaving the ring, tries to go after Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens ends up sneak attacking him. They brawl, they go in the ring, they go back and forth, with KO standing tall, holding the championship. This was a good segment, really good segment. KO is definitely losing now, because anytime a wrestler just holds the championship after standing tall, it just never ends well. Yes, there are a few exceptions, but 90% of the time, that person is losing, unfortunately. I wish KO would win the championship. I really want to. And I'm not even a Cody hater like most people who say his reign is boring. Because I don't mind his reign. I actually think Cody's reign has been pretty solid. I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's bad either. I think it's been pretty decent. But I wish KO would win that championship just to have that moment. I really wish he could just hold it for a month. Cody wins it back. I wish, but Cody Rhodes is definitely winning. Overall, this was a solid episode of Smackdown. You guys let me know your opinions down below. Let me know how you feel about Saturday Night Main Event. Let me know your predictions down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, that's it.